Good morning and welcome to St. Catharines. You're joining us from UROSPOT today, where I've got Erin Craven, who is the owner and founder of UROSPOT. Thanks so much for joining us, Erin.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so International Women's Day is today, and in spirit of that, we'd like to talk a little bit about women's health, and specifically women's pelvic floor health. Not an issue that is discussed enough. A lot of women suffer from issues involving their pelvic floor, but a lot of women don't get the treatment for it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's this area of our health that is very dismissed and sometimes just not treated like it's important when we go to see our family doctors, but the reality is it's very important. And women tend to believe that it's something that is normal. It's a normal part of aging, but that has to change. It's not normal.
So you're telling me that I shouldn't pee when I jump on the trampoline?
You should not. It is common.
Yeah,
It is common, but it is not normal. Your body should never leak urine. You shouldn't struggle with urgency or frequency or waking up at night to pee. Those are actually things that are a sign that there might be some dysfunction in your pelvic floor muscles, and you deserve to get that treated.
And this is why you've come up with UROSPOT, is to help women that have been dealing with these issues, because it's not only necessarily a physical issue, this could also impact your mental health.
Absolutely, absolutely. So pelvic floor dysfunction, specifically incontinence, which is different forms of leaking when you weren't planning on it, right? Like a laugh, a cough, a sneeze, you're exercising, you're running to that bathroom because you're feeling overpowering urgency. Women who struggle with that, first of all, it's 2 out of 3 of us over the age of 40, very common, and that becomes even higher as we age. But women who struggle with incontinence are 2 times more likely to struggle with depression as well, because it really does start to weigh on our minds. You start not leaving your home. You start always worrying about this problem. 45% of women give up exercise when they're struggling with incontinence. So it's kind of this downward spiral that starts to slowly eat away at our quality of life until all of a sudden we're wearing pads and diapers 24/7.
And we don't want to leave our homes because we're scared we're going to have an accident, and the embarrassment and the pride and everything that goes along with that.
Yeah, once it starts, it just gets worse. So that's why, we're trying to, the number I want to improve, the reason I started this company, is that only 25% of women who are struggling seek help.
Wow,
that means 75% don't, right? So they think I'm just supposed to live like this.
No.
So, if the day my life ends, if we've moved that number from 25% to 50% or 75%, that's good.
Well, it looks like you guys have done a great job. All the women that come here, they've shared their story on this beautiful wall, and they've talked about what they couldn't do and now what they can. And coming up, we are going to be showing you some of the ways you can actually strengthen your pelvic floor here at UROSPOT in St. Catharines. The freedom of not wearing a pad at the gym is life-changing. Thank you. So very happy I decided to try UROSPOT. It's wonderful, not always looking for a washroom. This absolutely works. My quality of life has definitely improved. Best gift to myself I could give. Just do it. Your confidence and sex life will thank you. That's the best one.
That's my favorite.
I mean, there are so many reasons why women need to strengthen their pelvic floor, because so many people suffer from many different issues when it comes to their confidence, their sex life, their need to go to the bathroom, that awful feeling, the peeing when you jump. UROSPOT will take care of it.
Absolutely, absolutely. I call it our freedom wall, because it's like women get to talk about their quality of life. That's really what we're trying to improve, is quality of life on something, again, that people just think is normal, but it is not.
It is not.
It is not. Yeah.
So you've got patients that come in here and they sit down with you. Let's show them where we sit down. So they sit down with you and you offer a free consultation.
Yeah, everything starts with a complimentary consultation with our nurse. So we want you to have a really good conversation about your symptoms, about everything that's going on in your life, and we want to teach you about what your options are.
Because a lot of people don't know.
No, and we want to tell you what is your pelvic floor, what's going on in your body. Yeah, so when you go to the gym, and you go and strengthen your arms, you're working on your biceps, you can see what you're doing.
Totally.
But this is a set of muscles in our body that's totally invisible. So think about this as the front of your body and this as the back of your body.
Okay.
And these are your 2 hip bones. So your pelvic floor musculature crosses your body, hip to hip, pubic bone to tailbone.
Okay.
Think of it as a trampoline. That's the visual I use in my head.
Okay.
A trampoline of muscles.
All right.
On top of that trampoline sits our bladder, our uterus, and our bowels. So 3 organs, pelvic organs, are resting on that trampoline.
Okay.
Okay, and your pelvic floor plays a huge role in our body for many ways. One is, like I said, it's that shelf that those organs sit on. As we age, as we go through certain stages of life, these tissues can start to change. We lose estrogen when we go through menopause.
So we lose elasticity.
We have some damage. Yeah, we
Yeah.
have some damage done to the muscles when we have babies. All kinds of things.
Lots of damage.
Yes. And so that trampoline can start to kind of
Oh, buckle.
look like it's got a lot of snow sitting on it,
Right.
right?
That's a really good analogy. I like
and
it.
so we want that trampoline to be nice and fit and strong. And so just like any other muscle of our body, we can strengthen and condition this one too.
Amazing.
And that can be a main reason, as well as a lot of behaviors and lifestyle issues that we're doing that could be causing the leaks, the urgency, the frequency.
Right, so you're here to educate us on all of this because I've never seen a model that looks like this before. So it's nice to see what's actually going on within my body.
Yeah.
And then you can give me the resources and the source to fix those issues.
You got it, you got it.
Okay, well, coming up, I am going to be sitting on the Kegel throne. And we're going to talk a little bit about what this machine can do and ways to do Kegels and kind of help yourself once you finish the treatment. Lots more coming up on Morning Live, but for now, sending things back inside the studio. 11,000 Kegels. That's what I'm doing right now, and it's only going to take 28 minutes. So you've got 28 minutes in your day. You come and you sit on the Kegel throne. I love that that's what you guys have called it. Fully clothed. It takes about 6 sessions, and you can sneeze and you can laugh and you can work out without having to wear a pad or a diaper. You can, sleep through the night without having to pee. One of the big things, Erin, I know that you guys do here is not only, of course, the technical aspect of it, sitting on the throne, but the education is so important.
Yeah. So we really are pelvic health done differently. We combine the technology with education and health coaching because your brain plays a role in this too.
Totally.
To help you get the best outcomes. So what the chair's doing, which is what you're experiencing right now, is waves of electromagnetic energy that are stimulating your pelvic floor muscle over and over and over again. So it's like going to the gym and doing like 11,000 contractions of the muscle.
Wow.
Now the energy that's being used is stimulating the muscle, but at the same time what's really cool is it's rebooting the neuromuscular connection between your brain, your bladder, and your pelvic floor. So what that means is there's this connection, right?
Okay.
And your brain should signal when you have to go.
Right.
And your bladder should say, okay, it's time to
time
go.
to pee.
Right.
Yeah.
That signal can get disconnected. It's kind of like your Wi-Fi goes out,
Right,
right? Okay,
right,
so that
okay.
signal can get disconnected when we go through different stages of life, childbirth, any surgeries, menopause, things like that. And so what's really amazing about this energy to me is that it kind of acts like a reboot, like we're turning the computer on and off again so that things start signaling each other properly,
Okay.
as well as strengthening that muscle.
Interesting.
Yeah, and then layer on top of that all that education and health coaching. So there's a lot of things we do every day as women that could be contributing to this, like maybe drinking too much caffeine, or alcohol, or not enough water.
So you'll go through all the steps with the patient, kind of, going through the checklist of, okay, how do you live your life? What's your routine? Do you drink 9 cups of coffee a day? Because that's probably bad for you.
Caffeine is a stimulant.
Yeah.
Caffeine will be a stimulant for sure. Even things like that just in case pee that our moms had us doing when
We're
we
not
were
supposed
3.
to.
You're not supposed to do that.
I've been doing that my whole life.
I know. Do not do that. Do
But
not
then
do
you're
that.
in the car and you're like, oh, I should have gone to the bathroom
Yeah.
before I left. I have to pee.
So you're training your brain
Yeah.
to signal you when it's not full by looking at that bathroom and going. A full empty of
my
your bladder
goodness.
is 8 seconds of urine stream. So 1,000, 2 1,000, all the way to 8. Yeah.
That's a long time.
Yeah, so if you pee and it's 8 seconds, good job. Your brain signaled you at the right time. If you're going and it's like 3 seconds, 4 seconds,
Oh, yeah.
your bladder
Mine's
wasn't full.
sometimes like a millisecond. Like
Yeah.
it's just like a
That-
little,
Yeah, so that cue, that signal
Yeah.
is not firing at the right time. And so
Interesting.
that's why that reboot is so important.
Okay, well, coming up, we're going to talk about how, not necessarily how this chair works, but what you can do after you've done the sessions on the chair and how it can give you your life back, your independence back. So there's so much more coming up from UROSPOT on Morning Live. Have you ever heard of pelvic organ prolapse? No? Well, Erin's going to explain how glamorous it is, or isn't. It's horrible.
Well, it's nothing to be afraid of, but I think what bothers me, and especially on International Women's Day, I think it's a great day to empower women with a medical fact that they most likely don't know about. And it's this. So pelvic organ prolapse impacts 50% of women over the age of 50. 1 out of 2 of us. And it's considered highly underreported. So it's probably even higher than that. And so our mission at UROSPOT is to empower and educate women on these issues that can happen to them. And
what is it? You have to explain what it is.
So what it is, so you're...
This is the horrifying part.
I know. I showed you your pelvic floor in the last segment, your pelvic floor muscles. And on top of those muscles are 3 of our pelvic organs, our bladder, our uterus, and our bowels. As we age and as we lose muscle tone, that pelvic floor can start to not be that fit and strong trampoline anymore. It can start to look like it has some snow on the trampoline. It's losing its fitness capacity. When that happens, the pelvic organs, 1 or more, can start to descend out of place and slip out of place and descend down into the vaginal cavity. And it's graded stage 1, 2, 3, or 4. So this is what's important for women to know. Stage 1 or 2, what you will probably feel is a heaviness or a pressure. Sometimes after a long day on your feet.
Right.
It just kind of feels like something's falling.
Yeah.
Like it's like this weird pressure and heaviness. That's how women will describe it. Stage 3, there's a noticeable something's in the way. Something's not where it's supposed to be inside your body. And then unfortunately stage 4 is when it starts to move external. And that's usually where surgery is required. So you might hear about slings or you know, the surgeries where we're lifting it back up. But it's so important because this is something you can prevent.
I was just about to say, it's totally preventable.
I mean, if you keep that pelvic floor muscle strong, you're going to improve your chances of not experiencing pelvic organ prolapse. And there's lots of reasons for it to happen. Age, childbirth, menopause, we start to lose the estrogen in those tissues.
All those amazing things that women have to go through specifically.
Yes, but my message to women is if you're noticing some of those symptoms, get it checked.
Yeah, fix it.
And then know that you can do things that are non-invasive that before it ever gets to a stage where it requires surgery. You can just strengthen and really focus on improving the fitness of those muscles. Okay, well, thank you so much for enlightening us on all of this information, because you're right, a lot of women don't know what they're going through and they ignore it thinking that it's normal. It's not. Common, not normal, right? Common, it is common, not normal. We definitely need to be taking care of our pelvic floor. And on International Women's Day, I'm going to skip rope for you. Yes. I've done a few sessions on chairs. I don't know if this has made a difference. Is that skipping? No, but this is skipping. Ooh, and what do you know? Good job. I'm doing well. I love it. All right, thanks for having us, Erin. And UROSPOT is where we are at St. Catharines. We will have all the information on our website at chch.com. Woo.